Hello everyone and welcome back to Coronavirus Corner. I had a lovely Christmas. But it's always full of ghosts, isn't it? And particularly this year when there weren't as many folk round the table, so it really brought it home that times have changed, didn't it? But then that's what times do. They change. Otherwise we'd all been quarrelling over Brussels sprouts and mammoth ribs. Like Charles said the other week, this could be a time of great spiritual evolution for the world if we embrace its lessons. I remember Auntie Nancy trying to explain evolution to Maureen, and after about an hour she suddenly exclaimed, "Oh, it's like tadpoles! When they grow legs, they're evolving." And Auntie Nancy just clapped her hand over her face and said, "Pour me a very large brandy, Edna," in tones of utter despair. But Maureen kept at it, determined to understand, and later on we were having afternoon tea at Claridge's, and she looked at her plate and suddenly piped up, "I wonder who the first person to cut themselves with a knife was. I bet it was some big hairy ape." And she was talking really loud because her ears were blocked and everyone turned round, but she didn't see them. And then she said, "And I bet his wife said, 'You should never have invented tools, Martin.'" You could hear this intake of breath as the whole room encountered Maureen at her best. And then this man guffawed and everyone started laughing, and Maureen looked round and said, "Oh, what's happened? Did I miss something?" Really loud again. And the man had to get up and leave the room, and he was crying into his napkin. And as he went past our table, I could hear him gasping, "Martin! Martin!" And Auntie Nancy was just sat there with her mouth open, staring at Maureen. And then gradually the colour came back to her cheeks, and then she started laughing too. Oh, it's never a dull moment with Maureen. I told Charles and Lydia about it, and Lydia said, "Did she really think Neanderthals got married?" And I said, "Well, that's how Maureen works. She looks at the world through her own little lens." And I told them what she'd said when Auntie Nancy asked her later why she'd chosen Martin. And she said, "Well, Auntie Nancy, one of my mum's boyfriends was called Martin, and he was a big hairy man, and when they fell out she shouted at him that he was a Neanderthal. So I always think of them as Martins." Auntie Nancy looked at her, and her eyes went all soft and misty, and she said, "I can't argue with your logic, Maureen dear," and she poured us another drink. She was very good with Maureen. She used to come out with some frightful details, and Auntie Nancy always took them in her stride and made Maureen feel quite normal, which she is, for Maureen. Today's sensible tip is, this Christmas has been difficult for a lot of folk. There's probably been a lot of strange things said and done because we're all a bit stressed, aren't we? Try and be like Auntie Nancy and accept folk for who they are. And with a bit of luck, they'll accept you too. You take care. Stay safe. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.